Good morning, TikTok. Part 8 of how, in just 3 days, the Sacramento County Sheriff's Department will be coming to lock me out of a home that I have lived in for the past 23 years, and how I got here. In my previous segment, I started talking about how I was with one mortgage company, Freedom Mortgage, who I had been making my mortgage payments to. And when the property was placed in default, the default notices started to come in the name of Loan Depot. I had also mentioned that I had written to several entities regarding the issues that I was having, such as the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, DFPI, which is the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation. I mentioned the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation because they were one of the entities that I reached out to. But as I started researching my mortgage company is licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation, a state of California company. So the mortgage company is out of Florida, Boca Raton, Florida, but the services or the licensing is out of, like I said, the state of California. Given all of the problems that I've been having with the state of California, I find that this to be a very strange coincidence, meaning you can write to the Department of Financial Protection Innovation, which is supposed to protect consumers from inaccuracies in different areas, but the mortgage company is licensed by them. So it leaves me to ask more and more questions, which I'm still trying to get the answers to. But in the meantime, my property has already been sold to a new buyer. Even though, like I mentioned previously, my home was placed in a trust and there was no attempt to reach out regarding the trust. I have no information from anyone trying to reach out regarding the trust that the home is held in. So again, all of these inaccuracies and all of these things led me to file my lawsuit regarding the mortgage company. I don't want to talk too much about that because it's still, like I said, pending, and I want to try to not taint any of the case, but I'll fast forward now to how it has moved into an unlawful detainer situation. I reached out to the purchaser of the home and let them know that the title was received, as well as the title company, Old Republic Title, let them know that the title was obtained fraudulently, that the title was obtained illegally, and that I am pursuing this matter. The Old Republic Title Company didn't want to hear anything about it. The purchaser of the home now didn't want to hear anything about it. So that is the place where we are now with the unlawful detainer situation. The new purchaser of the home filed an unlawful detainer lawsuit against me, stating that they wanted access to the home. And again, I contested that, and and tried to pursue that in the Sacramento Superior Court. So in the Sacramento Superior Court, I don't have a car. I don't have even money to, like I said, get on a bus. So I had to apply for what is remote appearance, the need to appear the unlawful detainer case remotely. The same judge who will hear the case continued to deny my access to appear remotely, even though I filed two motions to appear remotely. I even applied for a stay of the eviction, trying to let the courts know that there was a pending federal case regarding this unlawful detainer and that it has been removed to federal court. The judge continued to deny my request for a remote appearance. And so the first unlawful detainer trial came. I wasn't able to attend because the judge denied my request for remote appearance, and I had no way of getting to the courthouse. So of course I wasn't there. In the following week, another court hearing was scheduled. And at that time, the court allowed me to attend remotely. It was very strange that they denied my first two requests for a remote appearance, and then after I missed one, then they allowed me to the courts allowed me to attend remotely. Once I was allowed to attend remotely, it was strange to say the least. The moment the Zoom meeting started with the judge and the opposing counsel, the judge immediately said to the opposing counsel, "Oh, you don't need to argue this one." Right in front of me. And I was pretty stunned because I couldn't believe the verbiage that the judge was using directly in front of me. And so it continued, and I tried to argue my point, and the judge continued to make statements, well, if you were only here, and she said it 2 or 3 times during the hearing. It took every bit of me to not say I wasn't here because you kept denying my motion, my access to appear remotely. Access should not be denied because of poverty. And that is, again, a different issue, but I wasn't here because I couldn't appear. You wouldn't allow me to. You took away my access to due process. And so after it went on, I pled my case, continued to let them know about the federal court case that's currently pending, all of these things. The judge said, "You're lucky you have this opposing counsel, or I would have made my ruling last week when you weren't here." Again, I honestly started to chuckle at one point during the hearing because I'm like, am I hearing this or am I in a twilight zone? Because the level of denying my 14th Amendment right was so egregious that it left me stunned that I was actually sitting in a court of law. So move forward, the opposing counsel at first only wanted $140 something and a filing fee and an attorney's fee. But the judge interrupted the opposing counsel and said, no. How much is the daily rate on this property? And they stated $65 a day. And the judge says, no, $65 a day times 100. And the judge took it upon herself to apply additional $6,500 or $6,300 in addition to the filing fee and the attorney's fee that the opposing counsel only wanted to begin with. And so I continue to state, in this county, every time my name is mentioned, there is something that is being stacked against me. And now I'm seeing that even in the Sacramento Superior Court, under the mortgage companies, I can't get responses. I can't get answers. I can't get anything. It appears as though my name has caused a huge issue within every entity that I have dealt with within the Sacramento County. I'll stop here because I need to make sure I've covered many of the points that I want to discuss as I continue to tie in how now the Homeowners Association and the water has also joined forces with my mortgage company.